The theme of this year's Physical Disability Awareness Day is creating possibilities, and we'll be showcasing some incredible people who have accomplished careers in the creative and artistic space, including literature, media production, and performance art. With creativity also encompassing this year's theme, it's particularly relevant to those within the disability community who often use imagination to find new ways of thinking to solve problems or express themselves. With this in mind, it is great pleasure that I introduce our first guest speaker for today, Dr. Dinesh Palipana OAM. Dinesh is an ambassador of Physical Disability Australia, as known not just for his work as a doctor in the emergency department of the Gold Coast University Hospital and his advocacy work in the disability space, but also for his work in research and as a celebrated author and national treasure, as many other achievements are on his side. As an organisation, we are incredibly grateful to have Dinesh involved with PDA and for him always being so happy and willing to put his hand up to be involved in the events such as Physical Disability Awareness Day. So thank you and welcome, Dinesh. Over to you.
Thank you so much for having me today. You know, it's a funny, and I'm sorry about the background noise. I'm actually in Sydney. I'm joining you from Darling Harbour right now. It's a beautiful spot. And there are two coincidences relevant to our discussion today. One is, until yesterday evening, less than 24 hours ago now, 16 years ago, I didn't have much of an awareness of physical disability. The reason for that is on the 31st of January 2010 at 8:30 p.m., I had a car accident, and that's what caused the spinal cord injury. And that's why I'm here in front of you today. So right now, 16 years ago, I was inside an intensive care unit on a ventilator, having undergone surgery on my spine to stabilize it. So today's a very appropriate day to be talking about physical disability awareness, because even for myself, until 16 years ago right now, I didn't know what that meant. I'll be waking up, if you wind the clock back, in a couple of days, and I'll be coming to terms with what happened. And I'll be understanding my new body and the changes that came with it. And it's been quite a journey since then. But you know what? I'm so grateful to be here in front of you today with this moment. So that's one coincidence. Number two, as I was wandering down here, I went past the building for the publisher that published my own book. And I was just reflecting what it was like to record the audiobook. So I was taking these streets every single day for about a week and sitting inside a booth, going over the audiobook, redoing soundtracks. And it was such, by the end of it, my mom, who's here with me today, she was just saying how grumpy I was. Because towards the latter part of doing this, it's mostly corrections for the last couple of days. And they're like, you know, your belly made a noise when you said this, so can you redo this line? So I was getting pretty grumpy by the end of it. So it's been quite a journey for 16 years. Today I work as a doctor. I'm a lawyer. And we have all these laws that seek to protect people with disability. We have science and technology that try to make the lives of people better. But you know what I think makes the biggest change for us, those living with physical disability? It's our stories. That's why I think the creative arts and enabling people with disabilities to share their stories, to express themselves creatively is so important, because I don't think the world comes along often. I mean, yes, we do act on laws, we act on evidence, we act on science, but actually what rallies people the most are our stories. So I think we should be creating an environment where more people with disability can tell their stories, can express themselves creatively, because I think humanity relates to stories and journeys more than anything else. I grew up in Sri Lanka, and I lived there for the first 10 years of my life. You want to know something interesting about that country, and I reflect on this all the time. In that time of crisis, when I lived through a war that lasted 30 years, one of the first things that they did is to stifle free speech. So journalists used to get kidnapped those days. They used to call them the white vans. And if you expressed yourself in a way that was contrary to what the government wanted, a white van will come and take them away. And during that time, many journalists died. And journalism is just one aspect of creative expression, isn't it? But it was once said by Napoleon that the only thing that he's scared of more than a bayonet is an angry journalist. But I think a journalist draws parallel to our stories as well. And whether it be writing a book, doing a podcast, making a movie, or painting art, whatever it may be, it's a way to challenge society. It's a way to change people's thinking. It's the way to share our stories with the broader public. And you know what moves politicians? Our stories. Our stories move politicians because it moves their voters. It moves the community. And by the love and pressure of the community, that's how society changes. I've had the good fortune of being a part of a lot of creative endeavors over the last 16 years. One being the book, which is getting developed into a TV series at the moment. I've had the great privilege of being a part of some art that's been a part of some portrait prizes, all by artists, some by artists with disability. And also Australian Fashion Week, where we launched a series of clothing that were designed for people with disability. So creative expression is critically important. It changes the world, it connects us to the community, and it changes society that we live in. But I think we need to celebrate each other. We need to encourage each other. And whoever wants to undertake a creative pursuit, I think that it's just as important to us as the law, as the science, and whatever else. So thank you for giving me some of your time on what is actually a fairly poignant day. And I wish you an amazing 2026. And I can't wait to see your creative things come to life.